Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Tarot. Now, this is a general reading and it is open to all zodiac signs. So just take what resonates with you. It is also timeless, so anytime you find yourself watching this video, there might be a message here for you. Let's try to see what is the main energy for today. Okay, we have here the Seven of Pentacles. Well, you've earned a lot from the efforts you've exerted in the recent past. The things that you planted or the things that you began are now beginning to bloom. So right now we see a lot of fruits from the plants or from the projects you've started. Now you are challenged on how to maintain it. You see, now that the plant has grown, there is the responsibility of maintenance, keeping it blooming, keeping it healthy. So this is the challenge for you right now. Now the person, when you look at the person in the Seven of Wands, he is thinking very deeply. Now many things can be going in your mind right now. Maybe for some of you, you are thinking, how can I improve more on this one? Some of you might be even dreaming, what can I do with these things that are already blooming from it? So you have reached a certain stage right now where the fruits of your effort are now starting to come out. And now you are at a crossroad and you're trying to see what is next. Okay, what is next, like that. You're trying to see now, okay, should I continue? What should I do to improve it even more? Some of you might be thinking that way at this time. Should I continue the approach that I did in the past, or should I innovate something new? Okay. Well, some people, they say that if you have reached your first million, to get your second million, you just continue what you have been doing in the past. So that's one approach that you can do. Or you can use your creativity and try to improve on what you already have, but without giving up what you already have as basis of your growth. So it can be that right now this person is contemplating, should I just continue on what I've been doing in order to gain the next success? Okay, so because it's whatever you did in the past, it's already blooming. So it means there's something good in the strategy that you made. So the challenge is, okay, will you continue on that or will you add something more on that? Okay, well, you need to really think it over, because if you continue on what you have been doing, then definitely it will continue to grow. Now, if you try to diversify a little, well, just make sure that what you started, you will not lose. Okay, so in a certain sense, you can improve on what you've been doing without giving up the original thing. You know how it is. The reason why you were able to succeed is because there is something in what you have started that is precious. So you need to be careful not to change everything completely, because you might throw the baby together with the wash water. Okay, so I guess one of the best approach that you can do here is to try to improve on what is already existing. That's one thing. Now, you also have to realize that this requires maintenance. So in a certain sense, maybe you are right now thinking also how you can sustain what you already started. So this is right now you are in a crossroad trying to assess how you can improve even more the beautiful situation that you find yourself in. Sometimes they say a person, after they have achieved a certain thing, sometimes they consider going on another endeavor. Well, yes, it's another possibility that you are considering at this time. Now that you have been successful, maybe you would want to do another thing. Well, it depends on whatever choices you have. You are at a crossroad at this time. So I think in the decision making, you also need to reflect on it and not be in a hurry in doing so. And to ask also the guidance coming from the divine or from the universe. So Right now, there is no need to be in a hurry. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, and yeah, you try to discern whether to continue on what you are doing now, maybe improve on it a little without losing what you already started, or you can also consider diversifying into other things. Now, it requires discernment on your part, consideration of your life situation. Sometimes we are so inspired that we diversify, and then we come to a point wherein we are overloaded already with things to do. And what used to be something very happy or something that makes us happy sooner or later becomes a burden. It can be also that this person is starting to see things that maybe he is missing the simplicity of the beginnings. So these are things also that you need to consider if you resonate with this card. Let's try to see how this will further unfold. Okay, for some of you, you might have to leave behind certain things. Okay. So for some of you, it can be a consideration of a career change. If you have come to a point where the thing that that usually give you joy no longer brings you joy, but the universe is offering you something new, so you can also welcome these things. Now, these new cups that are being offered can be also a renewal of the old one that you had. It's like reassessing your things, readjusting your what you already have in order to retain again the simplicity and the joy. Or for some of you, you will have to let go of things that are no longer helpful. When you receive a certain success, some things change in your situation. And those things that change, for some, there will be certain aspects that you will have to let go. But there are new things that are going to be offered to you. Now let's try to see what is the advice of the universe for you. Well, there will be some heartaches. Maybe what will happen for some of you. If this is a relationship that used to be blooming in the past, for some of you, you know how it is sometimes when you become secure already in the relationship. Sometimes you overlook certain things, and sooner or later, what used to be blooming suddenly crumbles like this one and causes you pain. Now, sometimes the problem behind here is immaturity between maybe both or one of the parties involved. For some of you, there might be some infidelity or a third party situation. So, yeah, maybe that is the one that makes you think, take a pause and think. It can be that for some of you, yes, your career is succeeding at this time, but your relationship is suffering. You see here, this is the Seven of Pentacles. Everything is blooming. But then here we have here the Five of Cups. The cup symbolizes relationship. The pentacles can symbolize career and health. So maybe there's a need for you to rebalance your life at this time, because right now it seems that the emotional part or the relationship part is suffering because of the career. So in a certain sense, maybe there is a need for you to take a pause and try to balance things. Now, this Three of Swords right now shows emotional pain and mental anguish at this time. Now, maybe there is a need for you to truly take a pause and reassess certain things. Maybe there are certain habits in the way you handle a relationship that you need to change. For example, too much preoccupation with career to the negligence of your relationship, especially those relationships that are significant to you. So the dynamics of your relationship with others have sort of been placed in the background. So it has led to some relationship pain and anxieties. So it can be that there is a need for you to take a pause, rebalance between career and time for those who are important in your life. So this is one thing that you need to consider right now. Try to assess your present life situation. Is your relationship suffering right now because you are too preoccupied with your career? maybe there is a need for you to rebalance your attention, to have quality time with those who are important in your life. You see, a new cup is being offered. For some of you, this new cup can be a reconciliation, or it can be a new relationship. It can be also that you are in the receiving end of uh, being neglected, wherein your special someone is too preoccupied with the career that you are no longer being given attention. Now, it can be that a better relationship is now being offered to you. So that's another possibility that we have here. Or it can be that you are the one who is too preoccupied with the career to the detriment of your relationship. And now you are being offered a chance to renew your relationship, or maybe a new relationship is coming. For some of you, maybe you can still save the relationship. Like this one, maybe he's trying to save the relationship by trying to adjust his career. For some of you, it's no longer possible because there is already a third party. Or maybe at this time, there is a need for you to take a pause, to distance yourself from the relationship. For some of you, you might need to heal. So right now, you are at a crossroad. And I feel there is a need for you to balance between career and relationship. I feel the relationship part is for some of you, the relationship part is suffering a little, and it needs your attention. So try to see how this resonates with you. The cards are giving us sort of like a warning, no? To try to see maybe we can still balance between career and relationship. For some of us, maybe it's also a sort of a warning for us to consider maybe it's time for us to let go of certain things and accept a new chapter that is being offered by the universe. It can be that way also, especially if the pain and the anguish, mental anguish and the emotional pain has been going on for a long time. Maybe it needs some attention at this moment. So try to see how this resonates with your present situation. Let us now go to the self-care tip. For our self-care tip, the message comes from Harper Lee. And the message is, real courage is when you know you are licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. It reminds me of the motto of the SEAL team that I read many years before in an article made by Reader's Digest. The title, I think, is Commandos of the Wetlands. I remember while reading that article, there was a phrase, if it can be done, we will do it. If it cannot be done, we will still do it. So in a certain sense, even if, for example, you realize that the probability of success is close to nil, you still try it anyway. Especially if you realize that it is something very precious, something very important. So even if, for example, you know that the result will be you might not succeed, you already accept that probability. And then you do it anyway because you know it's something very important. And then if you didn't succeed, then you can always say, well, I already accepted that probability even before I started. Now, if it suddenly becomes positive, if things got better than you expected, then it's a bonus. The important thing is we gave it a try. So if you try to relate it to our tarot reading, for some of you, maybe right now, you realize that you have concentrated too much on your career to the detriment of your relationships, or maybe your choices in your relationships. You were not prudent with it because in a certain sense, for some of you, you were too concentrated with your career or with your inspiration, whatever it is. Okay, so Even if, for some of you, even if you feel it's already impossible to save a certain situation, you still try to do so. At least you will have no regrets that you didn't try. The important thing is, even if you feel it might no longer be possible, still you gave it a try. So there will be no remorse in the future. The important thing is you gave it a try. And if the worst thing happens, then at least you already accepted it even before. You knew that that was highly probable. But if things get better, then it's beautiful. So it's like, in a certain sense, it's a bonus. So somehow, this is for some of you, if you are in a crossroad right now and you resonate with the tarot reading at this moment, and you feel that there is a need for you to try to save a certain relationship, and even if you feel it's not possible, well, the question is, are you willing to give it a try? Maybe that's one thing that you can consider. So the cups that are behind you right now can symbolize something new, a new relationship, or it can be a newer version of the relationship that has caused you pain in the past. Now, sometimes the change in the relationship can be, it might not be as romantic as it was before, but it can still be a fulfilling friendship. So it can be that way. Now try to see how this resonates with your relationship. Try to see if you are willing to still save it. If you feel there is still a slim chance of it and you consider it as something precious, then give it a try. But also accept the probability, because there's a high probability it will not succeed. At least if it did not succeed, at least you know you gave it a try. Now, sometimes you realize that it's no longer possible because it's no longer good for the parties concerned, especially for you. Then maybe there is a need for you to let go of the cups or let go of the relationship for the good of everyone concerned. So you try to see your situation right now. I think this is something that you need to give attention at this moment. If you can rebalance your life and still save the relationship, it would be beautiful. If you can rebalance your life and you cannot save anymore the relationship, at least the relationship that will follow will be in a better situation right now. Life is a journey of learning. We don't immediately enter into life knowing everything. We commit mistakes along the way. The important thing is we realize our mistakes, we learn the lessons from them, and we continue to move forward towards continuous change and continuous growth. Well, that's it for today. I hope that it has helped you in your present life situation. This is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everyone. But if it resonates with you, I hope you were able to find what you are looking for. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.